Camellia sinensis is the species of plant whose leaves and leaf buds are used to produce the popular beverage tea. It is of the genus Camellia, a genus of flowering plants in the family Theaceae. White tea, yellow tea, green tea, oolong, pu-erh tea and black tea are all harvested from this species, but are processed differently to attain different levels of oxidation. Cháhuā is also harvested from Camellia sinensis, but uses twigs and stems rather than leaves. Common names include tea plant, tea shrub, and tea tree. There are two major varieties used for tea: Chinese tea, Camellia sinensis var. Sinensis, and Assam tea, Camellia sinensis var. Assamica. Nomenclature and taxonomy. The name Camellia is taken from the Latinized name of Reverend Georg Kamel, S.J., a Czech-born Jesuit lay-brother, pharmacist, and missionary to the Philippines. Carl Linnaeus chose his name in 1753 for the genus to honor Camel's contributions to botany. Robert Sweet shifted all formerly Theaceae species to the Camellia genus in 1818. The name sinensis means from China in Latin. 4 varieties of Camellia sinensis are recognized. Of these, C. sinensis var. Sinensis and C. sinensis var. Assamica Chaitamera are most commonly used for tea, and C. sinensis var Pubilimba Hung Tea Chang and C. sinensis var Dahengensis TL Ming are sometimes used locally. Cultivars of C. sinensis include, Benai Fuki, Fashun, Kanea midori, Mayaku, Sei midori, Okumidori, Yabukita. Description: Camellia sinensis is native to East, South and Southeast Asia, but it is today cultivated across the world in tropical and subtropical regions. Camellia sinensis is an evergreen shrub or small tree that is usually trimmed to below 2 am when cultivated for its leaves. It has a strong taproot. The flowers are yellow-white, 2.5–4 cm in diameter, with 7 to 8 petals. The seeds of Camellia sinensis and Camellia oleifera can be pressed to yield tea oil, a sweetish seasoning and cooking oil that should not be confused with tea tree oil, an essential oil that is used for medical and cosmetic purposes, and originates from the leaves of a different plant. The leaves are €15 cm long and €5 cm broad. Fresh leaves contain about 4% caffeine. The young, light green leaves are preferably harvested for tea production. They have short white hairs on the underside. Older leaves are deeper green. Different leaf ages produce differing tea qualities, since their chemical compositions are different. Usually, the tip and the first 2 to 3 leaves are harvested for processing. This hand-picking is repeated every 1 to 2 weeks. Cultivation. Camellia sinensis is mainly cultivated in tropical and subtropical climates, in areas with at least 127 cm of rainfall a year. Tea plants prefer a rich and moist growing location in full to part sun, and can be grown in USDA climate zones 7 to 9. However, the clonal one is commercially cultivated from the equator to as far north as Cornwall on the UK mainland. Many high-quality teas are grown at high elevations, up to 1,500 meters, as the plants grow more slowly and acquire more flavor. Tea plants will grow into a tree if left undisturbed, but cultivated plants are pruned to waist height for ease of plucking. 2 principal varieties are used, the small-leaved Chinese variety plant and the large-leaved Assamese plant, used mainly for black tea. Chinese teas. The Chinese plant is a small-leafed bush with multiple stems that reaches a height of some 3 meters. It is native to southeast China. The first tea plant to be discovered, recorded and used to produce tea 3,000 years ago, it yields some of the most popular teas. C. sinensis var. Waldeni was considered a different species, Camellia waldeni by Cháhuā, but it was later identified as a variety of C. sinensis. This variety is commonly called Waldeni camellia. It is seen on Sunset Peak and Tai Mo Shan in Hong Kong. It is also distributed in Guangxi Province, China. Indian teas. There are 3 main kinds of tea produced in India. Assam tea comes from the northeastern section of the country. This heavily forested region is home to much wildlife, including the rhinoceros. Tea from here is rich and full-bodied. It was in Assam that the first tea estate was established, in 1837. Darjeeling The Darjeeling region is cool and wet, and tucked in the foothills of the Himalayas. Tea plantations reach 2,200 meters. The tea is delicately flavored, and considered to be one of the finest teas in the world. The Darjeeling plantations have 3 distinct harvests, termed flushes, and the tea produced from each flush has a unique flavor. First flush teas are light and aromatic, while the second flush produces tea with a bit more bite. The third, or autumn flush, gives a tea that is lesser in quality. Nilgiris tea comes from a part of India that is almost as high as Darjeeling. This southern Indian region has elevations between 1,000 and 2,500 meters. The flavors of Nilgiris teas are subtle and rather gentle. They are frequently blended with other, more robust teas. Pests and diseases. Tea leaves are eaten by some herbivores, like the caterpillars of the willow beauty, a geometer moth. Health effects. The leaves have been used in traditional Chinese medicine and other medical systems to treat asthma, angina pectoris, peripheral vascular disease, and coronary artery disease. Recent medical research on tea has revealed various health benefits, including anti-cancer potential, effects on cholesterol levels, antibacterial properties and positive effects for weight loss. It is considered to have many positive health benefits due to tea's high levels of catechins, a type of antioxidant. Among other interesting bioactivities, catechin from C. sinensis was shown to act as agonist of pu-gamma, nuclear receptor that is current pharmacological target for the treatment of diabetes type 2. However, tea may have some negative impacts on health, such as overconsumption of caffeine, and the presence of fluoride and oxalates in tea. See also, Notes and References, ABC Min, Tianlu. Bartholomew, Bruce. 18. Theaceae. Flora of China 12 ITIS Standard Report page Camellia sinensis retrieved March 28, 2009. Stafliu, F.A. Cowan, R.S. Taxonomic Literature, A Selective Guide to Botanical Publications and Collections with Dates, Commentaries and Types. Utrecht, Bonn, Scheltema and Hoekema, Botanics, History of Tea, August 10, 2003, Georg Giosef Kamel, whose name in Latin was Camelus, was missionary to the Philippines, died in Manila in 1706. Camellias were named in posthumous honor of George Joseph Kamel by Carolus Linnaeus A. Botanics, History of Tea, August 10, 2003, it is speculated that he never saw a Camellia A. Galender, Leonid, Botanics, History of Tea, the first edition of Linnaeus's Species Plentrum published in 1753 suggested calling the tea plant Theaceae. International Association for Plant Taxonomy, Article 13, Example 3, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, the generic names Theaceae and Camellia L. are treated as having been published simultaneously on May 1, 1753. The combined genus bears the name Camellia, since Sweet, who was the first to unite the two genera, chose that name, and cited Thea as a synonym A.B. Identification of Japanese tea cultivars using SSA marker. Food and Agriculture Organization. Retrieved June 5, 2009 ABCDE Varietal differences in the adaptability of tea, Camellia sinensis cultivars to light nitrogen application. Food and Agriculture Organization. Retrieved June 5, 2009 Camellia sinensis. Purdue. Retrieved February 18, 2008 Tea, Gardening, Telegraph Online, September 17, 2005 A.B. The International Camellia Society, D.E., Unicliniques Landa. Ming, T.L., A Revision of Camellia Sect. Thea, Acta Botanica Unnanica 14, 115 €32 Quick sprints can cut abdominal fat in men. Retrieved October 10, 2012 Wang L., Waltenberger B., Furry Wenzig M., Blunder M., Liu X., Malena C., Blazovic T., Schwager S., Rollinger J. M., Heise H., Schuster D., Kopp B., Bauer R., Stupner H., Dish V. M., Atanasov A. G. Natural product agonists of pyroxene proliferator activated receptor gamma, a review. Biocham Pharmacol. July 29, 2014 p. S 0006-2952, 14, 00424-9 doi, 10.1016/JBCP. 2014.07.018. PubMed DPMID, 25,083,916. External links, Camellia sinensis. Integrated Taxonomic Information System. Retrieved February 16, 2006. Camellia sinensis from Purdue University, the International Camellia Society, Plant Cultures, Botany and History of the Tea Plant, Antibacterial Activity of Green Tea Extracts Against Streptococcus aeruginosus Group ci.nii.ac.jp, jac.oxfordjournals.org, The Effect of a Component of Tea on Methicillin Resistance in Staphylococcus. sons.ars-grin.gov, List of chemicals in Camellia sinensis.